Hello everyone, welcome to everyone. So let's look at the market structure. Before we start, let's try and identify the month market condition, the daily market condition, the 4 hours, the 1 hour, the 30 minutes, just for us to have an idea of what you're anticipating the market to give to us. So let's go to the month market condition. Let's zoom the chart a little bit. Looking at the condition of the month market condition, we are in an uptrend. This was the all-time high that gold created, and then gold has broken this all-time high. So that means we need to identify the new all-time high. This candle has broken the high of this rejection candle. This was last month's candle, December candle, or this is this month's candle. So this month's candle is left with 9 days for this candle to close. So this line indicates the low of this month's candle. This line indicates the low of last month's candle. So let's move this to the new all-time high, which is the new all-time high. It's 4888.04. So gold has created a new all-time high. So looking at the condition of the market structure, we don't need to do anything. All we want to do is just for us to kind of know what the month market condition is saying, the daily market condition, the 4 hours, the 1 hour, and the 30 minutes market structure. So for now, we don't need to do anything. So since the month market condition, we are in an uptrend, that it has created a new all-time high. So let's go to the daily. Looking at the condition of the daily market condition. So let's remove this. Let's just adjust it. So we have a resistance zone over here, we have a support zone over here, we have a minor support, and then we have a minor support. So looking at the condition of the daily market structure, we are in a consolidation zone. The reason why I said that we are in a consolidation zone is because this is the new all-time high on gold, and this line indicates the low of the month candle. So this zone over here is being considered as a consolidation zone because we have a bullish candle that came and close with a bullish candle. The next candle close with a strong bearish candle to form a resistance zone over here. The next candle close with a doji candle, a bearish candle, and a doji candle to form a support zone over here. The next candle also closed with a bullish candle, and we have a minor resistance. And then the candle went up, and then it closed with a bullish candle and a bearish candle and a rejection bearish to form a minor resistance over here. So we're in a consolidation zone. I understand that this candle has broken this consolidation zone over here, that this candle closed with a strong bullish candle. This other candle is yet to close. This daily candle like is left with 15 hours for this candle to close, and this candle was the candle that created a new all-time high. So that means the next candle can give us a bearish candle back. Let me just show you again. The next candle can create a bearish candle like this, by which it will come back to this consolidation zone over here. So for now, we don't need to do anything. Let me give you guys an example. Let's say this is our minor resistance. These are minor resistance. So from this resistance zone down to this support zone, we have a consolidation zone over here. This candle has broken this resistance zone over here. So it's very hard for us to identify this bullish candle and this bullish candle as an uptrend. So since this is the high of the recent month candle and this is the low of the recent month candle, that means this zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So that means you are anticipating bearish candle to close like this, by which it will come back to this consolidation zone. Then for the next candle can give us a bullish candle to break. If this daily candle should close with a bullish candle, so that means the next candle we are anticipating it for it to give us a bearish candle, by which this zone will be our recent resistance. So for now, we don't need to do anything since we want to know what the daily market condition is saying. So let's go to the H4. Let's delete this box. So looking at the condition of the H4, we have a resistance zone over here. Let me delete this. So we have a resistance zone over here. We have a support zone. So nothing serious is happening, because looking at the condition of this H4, we have a bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle. So that means the H4 has broken this resistance zone over here. So that means the uptrend is very clear for us to identify H4 to be in an uptrend because of this zone, from this resistance zone down to the high of this candle over here. So that means we can identify this H4 market structure to be an uptrend, because we have a bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, bullish candle, and a bullish candle. So the moment this candle, this recent 4 hours candle is left with 3 hours before this candle will close. So if this candle close with a bearish candle like this, so that means this zone will be identified as a recent resistance. So for now, we don't need to do anything until the close of until the close of this 4 hours candle. So it's very important for us to have an idea what the market condition is saying, just for us to know if it is the right time for us to take a position. But for now, we don't need to do anything. We just want to know what the month's market condition, the daily, the 4 hours, the 1 hour, and the 30 minutes market condition they are saying. So just for us to have an idea if we are approaching a recent support or if we are approaching a recent resistance. It's very important for you to know what you are anticipating the market to give to you. So looking at the condition of the H4, we don't need to do anything because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bullish candles. So that means we are anticipating this candle to close with a bearish candle to form a recent resistance, by which the next candle can also give us a bearish candle, the next candle can give us a bullish candle, so that we'll be able to identify a recent support. So for now, we don't need to do anything. So let's go to the H1, and I love to identify my support zone and my resistance zone using the H1 and 30 minutes, just for us to have an idea that this zone is a strong zone and this zone is a strong zone. So looking at the 4 hours market condition, we don't have a recent support and we don't have a recent resistance yet, so we don't need to do anything. So let's go to the H1. So looking at the condition of the H1, let's see. The H1, we have a support zone over here. There's a support zone over here. So we don't have a recent resistance yet, but this 1 hour market condition is left with 16 minutes for this candle to close. So the moment this candle should close with a bearish candle, that means this zone will identify this zone as our recent resistance. But for now, we don't need to do anything. We need to wait until this candle needs to close. This candle can choose to reject of this zone to close with a bullish candle. So we don't need to do anything. Let's wait for this candle to close, since we have our support zone over here. So but the best thing is for us to kind of anticipate this candle to close with a bearish candle, for the next one to break the high and close with a bearish candle. Then we'll be able to anticipate the next one to give us a bullish candle like this, by which this zone will be identified as a resistance zone. And the moment this candle should close with a bullish candle, that means we will identify this zone as our recent support. So for now, we don't need to do anything. So we don't have a recent support yet, but we are anticipating this candle to close with a bearish candle, so that we'll identify this zone as our recent resistance zone. So apart from apart from the movement of the candle formation, we don't need to do anything. It's just for us to wait, since we are yet to identify our recent resistance and our recent support. But this is a support zone over here, but we are anticipating the candle to close with a bearish candle, for the next candle to also give us a bearish candle. Then the next one should give us a bullish candle, by which that zone will be identified as our recent support. So for now, we don't need to do anything. Let's go to the 30 minutes time frame. So let's adjust this support here. So as you guys can see, the moment we are moving from month, market condition, daily, 4 hours, 1 hour, and 30 minutes, we will be able to have a clear view of what the market is saying. Like I told you guys, I love to identify my support zone and my resistance zone using the 1 hour and 30 minutes. So let's go to 1 hour. You see that the 1 hour, we don't have a recent support, by which we are anticipating this candle to close with a bearish candle to form our recent resistance. So, but the moment we will go to 30 minutes, you can see that we have a recent support over here. So that means let's identify this zone as our recent support zone. So we have a recent support, but we don't have a recent resistance. So, but the moment this candle should close with a bearish candle, which this 30 minutes candle is left with 13 minutes for this candle to close. So the moment this candle should close with a bearish candle, that means we identify this zone as our recent resistance. So for now, we don't need to do anything. All we need to do is just for us to wait for this candle to close. So we have our recent support over here. That means we are anticipating the break of this support zone for the candle to continue to come down to this support zone. And then we are also anticipating, if this candle should close with a bearish candle, for a bullish candle to break our recent resistance, by which the candle will continue to go up to form a new all-time high, because this is the recent all-time high. So that means if we are anticipating a bullish candle to break our resistance zone over here, that means the high of this candle, we have to form a new all-time high on gold. So, but for now, we don't need to do anything. Let's wait until the close of this candle before we can anticipate to take a position. So our sell anticipation is here. And then our buy anticipation, let's just keep the buy and the consolidation zone until the close of that bearish candle, because we need to have a confirmation that that is our recent resistance. The candle can choose to reject of that zone and close with a bullish candle. So until the close of a candle, before you be able to identify that candle, that the candle has closed, then if the candle has closed, before we'll be able to identify this zone as our recent resistance zone. So for now, we don't need to do anything until the close of this candle. So let's measure the range. Since we are anticipating this candle to close with a bearish candle, so we are looking at almost like 600 pips. That's huge. That's huge. But if there is volume in the market, which in the next 12 minutes time is London open. So if there is volume in the market, we are anticipating a candle to break our support zone like this, or a candle to break our resistance zone over here. Don't forget, this zone can only be considered as a resistance zone if this candle should close with a bearish candle, by which we identify this zone as our recent resistance zone. But we have a support zone over here. So our sell anticipation is here. Let's just put our buy anticipation here, and our consolidation zone is here. This is how the structure will look like, but we need to wait until the close of this candle first before we will know that this is our buy anticipation and this zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So we don't need to do anything as of now. Let's just wait. So just in case you guys have a question, or if you are joining right now and you don't understand anything, you can ask your question and I'll get back to you. Let's look at this 15 minutes. The 15 minutes candle has closed with a bearish candle. So let's see what the next 15 minutes candle want to do. So this resistance. So as you can see, the 15 minutes candle has confirmed that this is our recent resistance over here, but we are not looking at the 15 minutes, we are looking at the 30 minutes. I love to have an idea what the 15 minutes and the 5 minutes market condition they are saying. So just for me to have an idea, because they are there, so you kind of clicking on them and just to watch the market condition is just very easy. Just click it and move to the next time frame. So I love to click on them just to see what the market condition is saying in different time frame. Let me see the 1 hour. The 1 hour can choose to close with a bullish candle. So that's why I say it's very important for you to wait until the close of a candle before you be able to identify that zone. If the close of the candle is support, is bullish candle or resistance zone, then we'll be able to identify that zone as a resistance and as a support zone. So this recent 30 minutes candle is left with 8 minutes before this candle needs to close. So we don't need to do anything. Let's see how this candle will close. Candle is left with 7 minutes. Let's see how this recent candle, I candle 1, 2, with 30 pips. But the body of the candle need to close properly. So this candle is left with 6 minutes for this candle to close. It's very important for you to know what you're anticipating the market to give to you. You come to the market, you look at how the market condition is. Then you need to do your analysis. You'll be able to identify your support zone and your resistance zone. Let's say we come to the market and then the movement of the market structure is an uptrend. We don't have a resistance zone yet, but we are able to identify a recent support. So all you guys need to do is just for you to wait. So we are yet to identify this zone as a consolidation zone, and we are yet to identify this position as our buy anticipation. The only reason why this zone will be active or will be valid is because this candle needs to close with a bearish candle. It's very important for you to know what you're anticipating the market to give to you. So since we come to the market and then we are able to identify the month market condition, the daily market condition, the 4 hours market condition, the 1 hour and 30 minutes market condition, and then we are able to identify the recent support, which this zone is our recent support. So but this candle needs to close so that we'll be able to identify this zone as our recent resistance. So for now, we don't need to do anything. You can come to the market and then you will meet a different market condition. You will not see exactly what your trading plan says that you need to do this, you need to do this. But with your experience, you kind of come into the market, you know what you're anticipating the market to give to you. So right now, we are anticipating this candle to close with a bearish candle, by which this zone will be considered as our recent resistance. And then we are able to identify this zone as a support zone. So that means we need to wait, since this candle is left with 4 minutes for this candle to close. So we need to wait. We don't need to do anything. So let's wait until the close of this candle before we'll be able to identify this zone as our resistance zone. Then the moment we identify this zone as our resistance zone, that means our buy anticipation is valid and this zone can be considered as a consolidation zone. So for now, we don't need to do anything. So let's wait and see. Since this candle is about to close with a bearish candle in the next 2 minutes time. Let's see what the market condition want to do. So this candle is left with a minute for this candle to close. Let's see what the next candle wants to do. But the moment this candle should close with a bearish candle, So that means this zone is our recent resistance, and then our buy anticipation is valid because we are able to have this candle close with a bearish candle. So this is our recent support. So for now, we don't need to do anything until the close of this candle. Let's see how the candle will close. So this candle has closed with a bearish candle. This candle closed with a bullish candle to form a recent resistance over here. And then we have a support zone over here. So that means from this resistance zone down to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So that means this our consolidation zone is valid because of the fact that this candle has closed with a bearish candle. But had it been this candle decided to come down to create a wick and close with a bullish candle, then this zone will no longer be considered as a resistance zone, and then this our buy anticipation will no longer be valid. So but for now, this our buy anticipation is valid because of this candle close with a bearish candle. So that means this zone is being considered as a consolidation zone, and this is our recent resistance zone. So looking at the condition of the market structure, we are anticipating a bullish candle to break these are resistance zone, and then the candle will be able to create a new all-time high because the moment the candle should break its resistance zone, and this line indicates the new all-time high on gold. So that means if a bullish candle should break this resistance zone, the bullish candle is likely to give us a new all-time high. And then we are also anticipating a bearish candle to break this our support zone, by which the next candle will continue to come down to this support zone over here. So it's very important for you to know what you're anticipating the market to give to you before you be able to take a position. So for now, we don't need to do anything. So let's wait until we are able to identify the break of our support zone and the break of our resistance zone. This candle can continue to come down to break our support zone. So let's wait and see how this candle wants to print. If this candle we have to continue to go up to close with a bullish candle, but with the next candle we have to break this our resistance zone over here. So the best thing is just for us to wait, because it's very important for you to know what you're anticipating the market to give to you before you can decide to take a position. So right now we don't need to do anything. This candle created an upper wick, and then the body of this candle has broken the low of this bearish candle over here. So you need to ask yourself, always be prepared when it comes to the market, because you will definitely see a different market condition. Let me say, for example, right now that this candle has closed with a bearish candle. This recent 30 minutes candle has broken the low of this bearish candle over here. So if the body of this candle should continue to come down to break our support zone over here, then you need to ask yourself, what do you want to do? Because you need to measure from this high of this recent candle to our support zone, we are looking at 300 pips. So if you have 300 pips, so does it mean that you put your stop loss at 300 pips? I will not advise you for you to do that. So if this candle should continue to come down to break our support zone, I will not advise us for us to take a position, because if from the high of this candle to our support zone is 300 pips, so where will you put your stop loss? So always know what you want. So I will advise us for us to wait for this candle to close with a bullish candle like this, and then we'll anticipate the next candle to create an upper wick. Then the body of that recent candle, we have to break the low of this candle for it to continue to come down to our support zone. So, but it's very important for us to know what you're anticipating the market to give to us and how we want the market to give us a particular setup. Yeah, the moment we are able to identify that setup, then we can decide to open a position. But for now, we don't need to do anything. So let's see if this candle will continue to come down to break our support zone, or if this candle we have to create a rejection bearish candle over here, and then for the body of the candle to break the high of this week over here, then for it to continue to go up to close with a bullish candle. So but for now, we don't need to do anything, since we are still anticipating this candle for it to kind of close with a bullish candle, or for it to close below our support zone, by which we'll be able to anticipate the next candle to give us an upper wick, then for the body of the candle to continue to come down to break the low of the candle that closed below this support zone over here. So it's very important for you to know what you're anticipating the market to give to you before you be able to take a position. So we don't need to do anything as of now. Let's just be patient until we are able to identify a structure before we can decide to take a position. Let's see. Let's see how this recent 30-minute candle will close. Because this candle can decide to continue to come down and break our support zone. So since this is the beginning of London section and there is volume in London section, so this candle can choose to continue to come down. So, and then you need to ask yourself, your stop loss, you can't put your stop loss at 300 pips. You can't do that. That's huge. So the moment you put your stop loss at 300 pips, so that means you are anticipating to take like 600 pips profit, or 900 pips or 800 pips profit. And this type of thing is not something that you come to the market and you're anticipating the market to give you like 800 pips. No, you need to kind of know what you want from the market and how you want it. So if there is volume in the market, which this is the beginning of London Open, and if this candle should choose to continue to come down to break our support zone, and then if there is volume in the market, the volume will definitely want to show you that, oh, the candle wants to continue to come down, by which the body of the candle can continue to come down and then close with a rejection bearish candle. The candle can choose to close like this. The body of the candle will give you something like this. I'm coming. Let me adjust this box. The body of the candle can choose to give you kind of a rejection candle like this. Let me adjust this here. So the body of the candle can close like that. It will have a very long wick if there is a very strong volume in the market. So, but right now, we don't know if this candle will continue to come down, since this is the beginning of London Open, and then we still have like 21 minutes before this candle will close. So we have a lot of time for the candle to give us a different candle formation. So let's see how this candle wants to close. But there's a high probability that this candle can still continue to come down to break our support zone. Then for the candle to continue to come down, maybe to close with a rejection bearish candle. but we don't need to do anything. All we need to do is just for us to kind of sit back and watch how this candle wants to print. If this candle we have to continue to come down to break our support zone, or if the candle will remain in this consolidation zone and close with a bullish candle and close with a bearish candle. So for now, we don't need to do anything. Let's see how this candle wants to print. But today's live stream will just last for like 40 minutes. Today, normally like my trading days is Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, but today I just decided to do live stream. Sometimes you just want to kind of talk to people, discuss with people, make money together. So, but today I just decided to do live stream just for 40 minutes. But tomorrow is our usual like days for us to do our live stream. So tomorrow I'm definitely going to do live stream for like an hour plus. So today the live stream will just last for 40 minutes. So let's see how this candle will close. Let's see. So we don't need to do anything. All we need to do is just for us to be patient until the close of this candle. This 30 minutes candle is left with 18 minutes before this candle will close. Let's see what the candle want to do. Since we have a resistance zone over here, we have a support zone over here, we are anticipating the break of this our resistance zone for the candle to create a new all-time high. Since this bullish candle has closed with a recent all-time high at 4888.32. So this is the new all-time high. So that means we are anticipating for a bullish candle to break our recent resistance and then close with a bullish candle to create a new all-time high. Or we are also anticipating for this candle to close below this our support zone, by which we'll be able to anticipate the next candle to create an upper wick. Then the moment the body of that candle should break the low of this candle, if this candle should choose to close below this our support zone over here, then we can decide to take a position anticipating the candle to keep coming down to this support zone over here. So for now, we don't need to do anything since this is London open, so which there is volume in the market, and then we are anticipating for the candle to continue to come down. But from this resistance zone down to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So we don't need to do anything. Sometimes you can come to the market and then you meet a different market condition. Does not mean that the moment the candle is going up or the moment the candle is coming down, you choose to take a position. Don't do that. Know what you want. Know exactly how you're anticipating the market to give to you before you be able to decide to take a position. But for now, we are just waiting until we are able to identify a structure, until we are able to identify a confirmation that it is the right time for us to take a position before we can decide to take a position. But this candle can as well choose to close with a small bearish candle in this consolidation zone. So sometimes it's always good for you to know what you want. Know exactly what you want. Don't chase the market. If the market is going up or if the market is coming down, you don't need to chase the market. So all you need to do is just for you to patiently wait until you're able to identify that that's your setup before you can decide to take a position, or a confirmation trade that will tell you that it is the right time for you to take a position. So for now, let's wait and see. Let's see what the market condition want to do. But anyways, guys, in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to head off. So it's very important for us to know what we want and how we want it. So which I was able to explain to us that we are expecting the break of these are support zone for the candle to close below this support zone, by which the next candle we have to create an upper wick. Then the moment the body of the candle should break the low of this candle that closed with a bearish candle, then we'll be able to take a position and expecting the candle to continue to come down to our support zone over here. So, but for now, we don't need to do anything. And looking at the condition on how this candle is printing, this candle can as well choose to close with a small bearish candle in this consolidation zone, because from this resistance zone to this support zone is being considered as a consolidation zone. So it's very important for us to know what we want and how we want it. And if we are looking at to take a buy position, since this is the recent high on gold, that means you are anticipating a bullish candle to break these our recent resistance. That means if the candle should close with a bullish candle, the candle will have to create a new all-time high on gold. But for now, we are expecting a bearish candle to break our support zone and a bullish candle to break our resistance zone, by which we'll be able to anticipate if it is the right time for us to take a position. Then it's very important for you to kind of be patient. Know what you want and know how you want it before you can decide to take a position. So just in case you guys have a question, even though I'm going to end the live stream, you can still message me, or you can message the team and we'll definitely get back to you guys. So but still, I'm going to be looking at the chart just for me to kind of know what the market condition is saying. And the moment I'll be able to see a confirmation trade, I'm going to open that position and then anticipate the candle to continue to come down to get to my take profit. So, but I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. So always know what you want and how you want it before you can decide to take a position. All right, everyone. So see you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for joining. Bye for now.